Keith Sayfritz represents the board. Not the best kept secret in the world, but what do you think about that, Keith?
I'm absolutely delighted, and so is the chairman. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of rumours, James, about Graham's appointment, but he didn't dispose of his shares until last week at Hereford, and that was always something in our minds, that although he was the clear favourite once we decided on a change of direction, there was always the possibility that he would not be able to join us in a timescale that was acceptable. I mean, this could have dragged on for months in terms of selling his shares. So there were a number of other candidates that the chairman spoke to that would have done a job for us. There's no question about that. But for sure, Graham was the outstanding candidate, and we're absolutely delighted. And I think our fans will be as well. And, you know, there's always a danger that, you know, somebody coming back and maybe the legend gets a little bit tarnished. But, hey, there'll be no question of that. And Graham is very conscious of what he's achieved here. He's very conscious of how he related to the fans in those days. And for sure, he's determined to bring success to the club. And we're absolutely confident that he will.
And you've wanted him for 14 years or more.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the chairman has said over the years that, you know, we wouldn't have to worry about the football, Keith, if Graham was manager. And I used to say, yeah, Ro, I think you're right. But to be honest with you, he's at Hereford. There's no way he's going to leave. And then it was 16th of April, I think, where Graham announced that he was selling his shares. And, you know, once... you know, we felt that we needed a change of direction here, which was based solely on the fact that we didn't meet the high expectation of our fans. It was then that the chairman spoke to Graham, you know, having been aware that Graham not only wanted to sell his shares, but still wanted another challenge. And I think that was all the encouragement that the chairman wanted, to be honest.
I know you're thinking of what he's going to be doing with his coaching side. He's not going to be working on his own, is he?
No, he's not at all. And, you know, Graham will have a team around him, and will need a team around him. And
are they from people here now?
some of the people may well be here from people that are here now. Others may not be. But Graham will sort that out, and he will announce it in a few days' time. And I've seen names speculated upon in the media, James, and some of them would be fairly close to the truth, and some would be way off the mark.
But he's got a lot to teach people, hasn't he, Graham?
He has, absolutely right. But, you know, fundamentally, and there's a lot of talk about him coming as, you know, director of football. He wants to manage. That's what he's enjoyed. So he's going to be the hands-on manager of the club. And I'll tell you what, I believe we're going to have an unprecedented demand for season tickets. And that isn't kind of sales hype. I think there's so many people who have either they've seen Graham before when he was manager, seen him play, or the parents have. They'll want to be here. And all I'd say is, if they want a season ticket, if they want to make sure of seeing the big games, then get in quick. And there's a special deal on until the, you know, the end of June. And but seriously, I think we're going to have, and I'll tell you what, James, what we're looking forward to more than anything else is a feel-good factor at the club. And I think, you know, no disrespect to anybody, I think last season wasn't a feel-good factor season, and I think Graham will help generate that back, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Great figure at the club in its history. He led the team for many seasons in what's now the Championship.
He did.
Is that the aim now? And as a board member, can Shrewsbury Town sustain a Championship club in today's money field?
Well, I think two things. I think firstly you've got to get there. And I've said earlier on Shrew's Web that you know, it isn't about wow signings, it's about effective signings. But if you look at a club like Scunthorpe, who certainly haven't got the off-field earning capacity that we have, they're in the Championship. They've survived there for a number of seasons. I don't see fundamentally why we're any different to them. But you've got to do it in stages. Firstly, we've got to get out of League Two, and we know how difficult that can be. But, you know, Graham has said that he thinks Championship is a realistic ambition. Okay, once you get there, it's sustaining it. But, you know, we're very conscious that whatever we do has got to be sustainable, and it's got to be within the club's finances to do it. Otherwise, there isn't any point.
But old manager and new manager in one, if you like, but a new era.
It's a new era, and you know, I've been looking at Graham's record over the last few weeks, and when you consider he played over 350 games for us, he was appointed player manager in 1978. In his first season, he got us into Division 2, which is now the Championship, although it's a completely different game. 5 seasons until he left, he kept us there. 2 quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Hey, you know, wouldn't we want to see that again at Shrewsbury? So, it's fantastic news.